In fact, Rowan Barrett was at the 2008 FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament, not 2004. Now for France. So the players and coaches shaking hands before the game. Roy Rana, the coach of Canada, and Hervé Coudray, the coach of France. The referees, Manuel Mazzoni, Yi Nan of China, and Omar Bermudez of Mexico.
I'm intrigued, Jeff, how Canada are going to approach this, because by definition with the French lineup, they're athletic, and if they run up and down with France, I don't think they have a chance. If they're athletic enough to contain them, but it's going to be intriguing to say how they approach. That roster's deep, it's got talent, but as you say, Barrett averages like 30 minutes a game. He's going to put a shift in, and you know, there's a number of players here that I've talked about potentially playing at the highest level. So this is not. I think you've got to put in Spain's win over Canada in a context. That was a great win for Spain because Canada are a decent lineup.
And their starting five will be Jordan Henry, Barrett, Juricic, who's going to Harvard. So obviously he's the brains in the outfit. Bamba and Kigab. And that is a serious starting five. I mean, it's an impressive. And for France?
This lineup for me, the French I think that the quality of French basketball is the fact that they're always deep. They can always run the floor. As you highlighted, Tilly, you know, as we started the broadcast, it's the fact that they can just be relentless with you. They can pound you, they can run you, they can be very, very athletic with you. Everybody on this team has great athleticism, and they've got guys who can just fill it up. Tilly's a quality player because he comes as well. He's got a great basketball IQ.
So Roy Rana, he's been here before at Under-19 World Cup. We saw him in Crete in Greece, lead a talented Canadian team, but they couldn't get past Turkey at this stage, or at least they didn't. And Coach Coudray, who is one of these coaches who has coached both the men and the women's game.
Yeah, they produce, the system just produces coaches. And, you know, they'll coach within the system wherever they're needed. The testament is French. I get 8 guys averaging pretty much over 20 minutes a game. They just keep coming, and they keep coming at you in all different ways. So before the tournament, you looked at it and you thought, well, who's going to challenge the USA? Well, France was the first name that came into your mind because athletically they can coach, and they can score, they can shoot the ball really well. And you know, they're a 78-point team from the perimeter, and they only shoot 31% from the three-point line. But this team is good. They're a European champion. They really took that tournament by the scruff of the neck and dominated.
Well, one thing before the start of this game, Canada will not have Lindell Wigginton. I'm not sure what that is because he's out on the court. I know Lindell Wigginton will not play. We're reliably informed. So anyway, we'll try to get more information why that's the case. So welcome to Cairo, Egypt. It's the FIBA Under-19 Basketball World Cup, and it's the game between Canada in red and France, Les Bleus, in white. And already Canada start off with a jam from Barrett after he gets the nice bounce pass from Kigab.
Yeah, if you're going to make a statement about how you're going to approach the game, you come out with looks like a pretty straightforward 2-3 zone too, and
2-3, yeah, interesting. Not sure if France would have been ready for this. And nice reach inside by Henry, and the ball goes over to Canada. So nice start for the Canadians.
The interesting thing about the 2-3 zone with Canada is it doesn't give France anything to play against in attack. They've got to try and move it. It's got to be a little bit more about sharing the ball. Sometimes that doesn't help the French when they haven't got that one-on-one matchup to attack.
Jurčić tries to get the bounce pass to Henry. Henry somehow comes up with the ball. Kigab now. Going to get inside, he's going to hand it off, and another dunk attempt, but this time unsuccessful. That was Bamba, Amadou Bamba, who went up with two hands to try to get the rim rocker, and France lived to tell the tale.
And that's a very worrying, for any French fans out there. It's in both sets they've been broken down and people have got to the ring, and that's not what you'd expect to see with a French team. Normally they're defensively able to contain, whereas both times Canada just taking it right at them.
Well, three-point attempt, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Well, if you come in shooting 30% from the three-point line, someone's going to have a look and challenge you to make shots, and that's literally what Canada are doing. I tell you, the loss of Wigginton's going to be a loss. He's a double-digit scorer for this tournament. We only just got that info straight before the game. It'd be interesting to find out if he's out for the whole thing, or is he just can't play today.
Barrett over to Kigab. And now Henry hits the three. So Canada looking relaxed, really, here at the start of the game. They've got Barrett and Henry up at the top of that 2-3 zone. Looks intriguing. Of course, Kigab is down low. Chauffé, short. And now Barrett, look at him in the open floor. And he was stopped by Gudu Sinha, the point guard. And boy,
good job he was.
I say this in a complimentary sense. Watching Barrett get close to midcourt is like watching a horse bolt out of the gate. Yeah. He was exciting. His dad was exciting, but I think the son might be even more exciting. Kigab, and rattles it in. So he's University of Oregon. The Ducks. So they got a couple of players here at big-time schools. Of course, Canada sends a lot of their players south of the border in the USA. And nice pass from T, and Vautier unsuccessful. Chauffé hits the three-pointer.
Well, there's the difference between the two teams. Canada going to the bucket, trying to throw it down. France are trying to manufacture a little spin off the backboard. And at the moment, that's really what sums up the approach to the game. The Canadians have really attacked this game with some real meaning. And again, an attack to the basket, really aggressive, and the French at the moment just can't contain them.
Well, we saw that in the last game. Argentina especially were so much more effective putting the ball on the deck and going to the basket as opposed to settling for threes. You got the athletes and the quickness. why not?
So, like, looking at Chouffet's like release on that three, that was a sweet looking 3-point. That's not a 30% 3-point shooter release either. So
Ndoye's come into the game, by the way, number 11 for Guru Sinha. And Henry again.
They can't stop him. They can't contain him. They're just trying to play him one-on-one. I think they're going to have to decide where they want to try and force the ball. They're playing him straight up, and they're getting beat on every penetration. And they don't want to help, so it really is exposing the guy on the ball.
So Henry is at the free throw line. And he has got a nice stroke, doesn't he? And Kudre is got a worried look on his face.
He's coming in shooting 40% from the three-point line, so he can definitely, shoot the ball. Same question we've asked, like in the Italian game and in the Spain-Argentina game. If this is working, how disciplined can you be?
Well, here's an athlete for you. Enjoy. He's going to put up a three. And that was off the front of the rim. Vautier with the rebound out to Chauffet. Steps inside the arc. That was off the front of the rim as well. And then quickly goes the other end, and Barrett throws it down with the left hand. And he says there's more where that came from.
They just cannot contain penetration, and this just highlights it. Throws it hard.
Vautier inside. Boy, he's got to make that shot right under the basket. Kigab. Juricic. And ball rattles out. It was hard to believe Spain beat this Canada team from what I can tell, from what I've seen, the way this has started. Of course, we got a long way to go in this one. Killian T. And nice touch from the big fella. Barrett again passes over to Kigab for three. And Bamba went up for the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. So Bamba's going to come out. And coming in will be Prince Oduro.
France need this timeout, Jeff. I don't think they've worked out how they're going to guard them. It's one of those things that we've said all the way through this. They've had like 48 hours since their last game to prepare for whoever they're playing next. And France look like they've never seen this Canadian team at all. They've just been beaten on every drive, every penetration. Surely they're going to work out what they're going to give and what not give. That doesn't look like that at the moment. Canadians have to, this zone is going to be affected though. They've got to be a little bit more active than they've been the last couple of times down. There's no way they can beat on the little flash cuts and little high to lows. They've got to own the keyway. And at the moment, until he gets a little 5-6 footer inside with no real contact, they've got to be a little, it's hard. Zone normally tells the guys, yeah, we're just going to like let them miss shots, unless you really get into being aggressive on the rotations and actually really matching up. Nice start by Canada. You just got to say,
I think the thing is just the positive start.
Yeah.
They look like they want to take it right to him.
It's like a challenge now. It's like, you can't guard me. So until you start guarding me, we're just going to keep taking it right at you. And France have made multiple changes, and it'll be interesting to see how they affect it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more Wigginton. Lindell Wigginton would have started at the point, but Canada basketball just issued a statement to say he wasn't going to play because of injury. So that's the deal. And that was right before game time. And Vautier gets the ball and goes up with authority himself.
He's got to rise to the challenge like that. He's got to be that guy that says, if you can throw it, I'm going to throw it down if I get the chance.
And here goes Barrett again. Tough shot, gets the contact.
it's almost like they don't know how to guard penetration. The Canadian penetration is very good, but Barrett didn't exactly, blow past him at speed. He just went to where he wanted to get to.
So Barrett makes the first.
Yeah, Barrett's still at high school as well. He's got so much upsides here. He's down in Florida at Montverde, and everybody thinks how the level he's going to play is phenomenal.
Vautier again now shows a nice soft touch, so we've seen him go up with a two-handed flush, and now we've seen him with a little jumper.
A little too easy though, just that, a little soft cut, no one bumped it, no one played him hard.
Kigab, Henry, now Jurčić, and Jurčić traveled. And as positive as Canada has started, they only lead by 3, and France have the ball. Diawara also in the game, number 35, as well as number 6, Adam Mokoka for France.
Like Kirkwood's coming for, Kirkwood looks like he's going to have to take the minutes that we thought it would have had. So he only averages about 10 minutes a game. He's in early.
Ndoye misses with a jumper. Kigab. Inside. And extremely difficult shot attempted by Prince Oduro, but Canada going to keep it. 15 on the shot clock. Captain Chauffet comes back into the game, number 8, there he is. Kigab passes it back out, and what a play from Barrett. Just kind of twisted, scored with his left hand. 8 points already for him, and we're still in the first quarter. Chauffet for 3, good! That looked natural.
Well, that's 2 threes now. He's got a lovely touch from there. He looks like he wants to shoot that. He feels it's a shot he's going to make. They moved the ball nicely to him. Canada's just going to play him harder before he catches it.
Here's Kirkwood, passes it back out, but it's going to be a turnover. And now France can tie it or take the lead with a 3.
Whatever the thinking behind the zone, they've got to be more active in it. They can't give an open look. They can't allow the soft weak side to strong side cut. Someone's got to bump people.
They're in a man now. Vautier out to Mokoka. An offensive foul, Vautier for the moving screen. He's got 2 fouls, Vautier. Just kind of stuck his body in there a little bit, and now Mokoka, he picks up his first foul, and free throws for Canada.
That tells you how much trouble they have in containing this. That's a 5-1 foul count, and they are just struggling to contain any penetration, even mid-court, looking to bring it down. They can't contain it. I can't remember seeing a French team exposed at this age group or any level really this much on penetration.
Kirkwood's only 17.
Yeah.
And averaging 4 points, 2.8 rebounds.
Another guy's he's still at high school.
Oh, look at Prince Oduro kept it alive. Yeah, a great opportunity for him to get some big-time experience. France working it on the perimeter. Mokoka. Ndoye. Into the corner to Killian T. Goes in and out. Juricic couldn't collect it. Ndoye in the corner and turns it over, but Kirkwood could not keep his feet in bounds. So France will have 11 on the shot clock since they're saying Canada didn't have possession. Ndoye bounce pass. Chauffet, and the block, but still T stayed with it, and France closed the gap to 1.
It's that part of the game in this zone. They're going to force missed shots, but no physicality at all on the box out by Canada. Nothing that says we're owning the inside.
Barrett flies in again, and now this gives France a chance to run. Ndoye gets in and draws the foul. So France now can move in front here for the first time. You know who he reminds me of is Ntilikina, the youngster from France who just got drafted.
Yeah, it's
Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah.
And he makes the first. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, Ntilikina was the MVP of the Under-18 European Championship back in December.
Yeah.
In Turkey. And France did not take the lead. That was an impressive rebound from Kigab. And his entry pass inside to Prince Oduro. Boy, I thought there was going to be a foul called on that one.
So did Prince Oduro. He also thought there was going to be a foul call.
Look at this. Looked like he got a lot of ball there.
Yeah, yeah.
Guru Sinha comes back into the game, number 26. And Mokoka goes out. Now Prince Oduro this time does go up and he draws the foul.
Yeah, the other good news for Canada, Jordan Henry's back as well. And they look a little more productive when he was there. I think they're going to have to manage those minutes around with the absence of Wigginton around that point guard spot. It's they're going to have to try and keep Henry in the game for a long time.
So Prince Oduro, First Love Christian Academy USA is his high school.
That's a great name for a high school.
Yes. He's been effective offensively, shooting 48% from the floor in this tournament. He's struggled at the line though. He came in shooting 50%, 7 of 14, and a little bit too much from that one. Kigab was hustling. Guru Sinha drives in a little bit out of control and is called for the charge.
Yeah, you're going to see this. This has got charge written all over it as soon as he catches it. There's no way he's in control there at all. There's 3 red shirts.
So Canada about a 6-second differential on the game clock and the shot clock. They're not going to wait around, and the three-point attempt was off target. That was Darling that attempted that. Now, final 7 seconds. Chauffet, well, he's not going to miss much, but he does there. They've left Canada just with a little bit of time. Will they launch one? Darling. Oh, he almost made it. But we're right where we started. We're all knotted. It's 15-15 in a low-scoring first quarter here between France and Canada.
Jeff, we talked about the pressure when you get to the sharp ends of the tournament. All these teams come in looking great, they're knocking up numbers, but then when it comes to the games that matter, defense gets prepared, 15-15, game on. if I'm Canada at this point, Coach Rana's could almost be a little disappointed because they established a real supremacy in the way that they were approaching the game at the beginning. And they've almost let France get back in it. A couple of missed opportunities where they could have cleaned up the glass. A couple of loose balls where France actually managed to sort of recover it and take it back up. It's one of those same things we said about Italy. In this type of game, they've got to be as perfect as they can be. So if it becomes a little messy, France are just going to have, I think, a little bit too much. But the other great thing about RJ Barrett at the start of this game just underlines what a talent he is. You know, I always think the most exciting thing about this tournament, apart from obviously you're trying to win a world championship, you are seeing the future, and he is definitely a future.
Well, just 17 years of age. We got 3 17-year-olds on this team. Emmanuel Miller, guard, as well as Noah Kirkwood and Barrett. And it will be interesting to see how the absence of Wigginton affects this team as this game goes along, but clearly not what the doctor ordered to be missing him from this game. So it must not be a good injury.
Well, he's averaging 13 points a game. There's no one person's going to do that. They've all got to chip in to just to fill those up.
Well, this is interesting now. Henry playing defense in the paint against Ndoye, picks up the foul. And if they're going to go with that matchup, could be some situations where they get some mismatches with him down low. They try to post him up. Chauffé. Ndoye traveled.
That's where they're really going to miss Wigginton as much as anything else, because at 187, he's a decent-sized guard. So you know, they're not going to get exposed like they do with Jordan Henry.
Barrett looking for an opening, surrounded. Kigab is going to take a 3, but he's going to miss it badly, but the ball falls kindly to Prince Oduro, and maybe went back up with it too quickly. Maybe needs to pass it back out.
Yeah, there are times like that. He's 1-on-3, he hasn't really got an advantage. Kick it back out, start again. You've got 14 to get something better than that contested shot. I mean, Barrett just gives you stuff at both ends of the floor. Quick hands, he's active defensively. France have made it, when he put their last ball on the floor, they sent 2 guys at him as well. So they've come up with an adjustment, and at the moment it's giving Canada a problem.
Ndoye goes down low. He's going to try to post up Henry, or he's going to go right at him, and he scores. No help was there. And also you've got checking into the game Wolgarin, the big man from France, number 23. He's on the ball now.
2'12", he's long.
And a 3-pointer is good. So Juricic shows what he's all about. Canada back in front by 1. Shot clock down to 5. Mokoka's gonna have, nope, he's gonna get it over to his teammate Rambo, and Jules Rambo a bit too hard. Bamba back in the game as well for Canada. Hands it off to Barrett. Henry. Now Juricic. Back to Bamba, and they have waited too long. Excuse me. Chauffet doesn't seem to force anything, does he?
He's like, he's one of those guys I always get impressed with. He always looks like he has time. He's always looking in control. He's pretty smooth. He's almost like a mini Nicholas Batum. He's that type of player, that type of feel, that type of movement.
Well, tell him that, he'll be happy.
I was going to say, I said a mini.
Kigab drives in, takes the contact and scores. That was just
still haven't solved that issue, have they? Trying to contain that dribble, that penetration.
Still was a tough shot.
Wow, yeah.
Indoor gets in, passes back out. And Killian T right there on the baseline, little short jumper. Now Kigab again, and this time can't control it. And I think that's going to be France ball, isn't it? He just lost it.
I'm not sure. I think it came off the deep. They just stayed big, and I think it came off of France.
Okay.
He sort of went into the traffic, and the ball sort of went the other way. So
we got a hand on it.
Guys like Shepherd have got to step in and make a contribution there. That's one of the ways everyone's going to have to help pick up those 12 points they haven't got. That's where he can help on the glass.
And this time the hustle play doesn't pay off for Canada. The ball goes out of bounds, back over to France. Bounce pass, and you know the big fella is dribbling it down low, and they took it right away. Barrett. And Barrett just kind of has enough control to get into the lane and score, and Chauffet paid the price for stepping in front of him.
Even in situations like that, Barrett's in traffic is on top of his power. He just has great touch as well. Just put it up there softly. Chauffet being down is not a good sign for France. I think he's just winded. But
he got a knee where it doesn't feel good, I think. He's going to come out.
Nice touch.
Well, how many drives have Canada scored just using their ability to attack the basket? TE flies in. Boy, he's wondering why he didn't dunk that now.
Yep, absolutely why.
Kigab again, Barrett again, drives down low. It looks like there's nowhere to go, but yet he goes there and he comes away with points.
Before the defense can get set, they're not set. He's got a drive lane, he just gets there.
He just has the hang time and he has those long arms. He's able to put it up near the rim. And suddenly Canada back up by 5. And France misfire from long range. Here he is. Barrett again. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he goes in again. And Barrett is just earning a living driving to the basket. Look at him. He says, just give me the rock and get out of the way. And France called timeout.
And they need it. It's the same. They got the same problem. They thought they had an answer, and now they don't. It's like watching a young kid who's reasonable, good level. And when they first start to play, unless you stop them, they're going to lay it up. Unless you stop them, they're going to lay it up. And then they have to learn all the other parts of the game because people stop him. Well, no one's stopping him. He's just taking it right at him. It's like, what's the difference? This is the World Cup. This is what he does at high school every day. Taking it to the ring strong. But as I say, you add that touch. He's got great touch on top of just that athleticism.
Canada look much more comfortable in the open floor, don't they? Not even close. Whereas France, not surprisingly, play a lot more half court.
Yeah, and I think that's, and against the way Canada have decided to play their defense, they are asking, unless France want to up it in their defense, to make it a little bit more up and down, France have to try and beat them by being a better team, and move the ball, and that's a challenge for France against a team that when they do take it inside, there's some athletes. So I think France would be very much served if they got up the floor a little bit, because I think Canada might get a little out of control, especially with the limited guard rotation. Jordan Henry's going to be put under pressure just to play the minutes against pressure.
It's interesting, Barrett, he's come into this game shooting just 3 of 13 from deep as a shooting guard. He's listed as a shooting guard.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's an area of his game where he's going to have to work on. But clearly, I mean, he's almost unstoppable what he's doing right now, going to the basket. Hong Kong's in the game as well, number 29. He's got it. Oh, wide open, Makoka. And Kigab with the rebound. Henry, a little bit out of control that time. Didn't make the right pass. And Makoka drives in, misses, but Killian T is there for the putback. Well, that was a missed opportunity for Canada, and France took advantage.
Yeah, if France start doing that, and Henry has got to throw it out. You can't try and find a pass where there's no pass. Throw it out and see what they get, either a jump shot or a long closeout. And we've seen how productive they are against long closeouts. They just blow past them. So he's got to just find an open man, just be patient.
And now the good D from France and the fast break, and just like that, a little 4-0 run. Rambo, Jules Rambo, good defense. Sometimes the best offense is a good defense. And now the reach from Ndoye knocks it out of bounds, knocks it away from R.J. Barrett.
And that's one of the reasons I think they would be in a very good place, France, if they extend their defense a little bit, because they will break Canada down. And you asked earlier on, how did Spain manage to contain and beat this team? Same type of scenario. They'll extend their defense a little bit, a little bit cuter with their defensive assignments and rotations. And then Canada have popped it up now like 2 times in succession. So it's going to be, France have got the rotation. France can just run people at them all day. That's taking nothing away from the fact that Canada still leads by 3 and they've turned it over twice and they're in a good place.
Well, maybe they're going to, take over France. Eventually, it looked like they were starting to make their move, and then Canada just exploded for, well, it's Barrett really. A couple of drives.
Yep. I think it's one of those scenarios if Canada have one way that they might be able to win it, and they've just got to milk it and stay with it. There's no point in them saying, "Oh, we'll do." It's up to France to try and win. Either change the tempo of the game, change the way they're being asked to play. It's almost like, well, Canada don't shoot it that well. Why wouldn't you just sort of step off, make a 3 until they make them step off?
Chauffé now inside Rambo, and now Barrett was there, just reached in and took it away.
Well, why would you want to, in a confined space, try and get your big man down by his ankles without bounce pass with 3 quick people around him?
France definitely extending the D now.
Yep.
Barrett inside, alley-oop pass. And converted by Grant Shepard.
Okay, that's great. Because, they sent 2 people at him, and he saw it the first time. The second time they do it, just find the open guy.
They read the defense well, and now the travel by France. So Canada Pressure up top. Barrett was looking for the pass. Shot clock winding down. And now they meet him up top, and he's going to go right past him, and he's going to miss this time, however. And Killian T gets it, and he's going to go coast to coast. Nope, he's going to try to make the pass at the end. He turned it over. Kirkwood has it. And now Juricic's open. And quickly, and T this time, but a charge.
I'd like to see.
They're going to count it. Will they count the basket? No, they're not going to count it.
I don't think they can in that circumstance. I'd like to see where. Well, he is outside. I thought he might be inside the charge circle, but
yeah.
Hey, that's putting your body on the line. He was in full pelt to the ring, and he just
Full
stood there and
Jordan
took it.
Henry.
Yeah, he took it and drew it. So.
And they do just get it in. Kirkwood gets it to Juricic. Kirkwood trapped on the corner, he gets it to Shepard. Oh, nice pass from him to Barrett. And Shepard knew Barrett was behind him. Boy, Kirkwood did an amazing job getting out of that trouble.
I was going to say, Kirkwood did so well just he just remained composed, didn't panic, just waited till he saw someone. And Shepard, we said when Shepard came in, he has to make a contribution, has to help. Well, he scored a couple, he set some good screens, he makes another good decision.
He's very good, very good.
That's exactly how you have to, everyone has to chip in this circumstances that Canada are faced with. And at the moment, they all are.
Five-point lead. Canada so much, I mean, let's just say it, there's a lot of hype about Canadian basketball for good reason. There's a lot of talent. They're waiting for a big result at a tournament like this. Canada now back in a 2-3 zone. Killian T down the baseline. Oh, Chauffet's the man, the zone buster. Mokoka. And coming from behind was Killian T.
That's a nice adjustment with the way they've gone to the 1-2-2, so they match up on the jump shooter spots. And that's a nice adjustment, hand on everything, they contained it. You know, if I'm France now, I'm feeling a little concerned because they're not really coming up with answers. I still think defense is the eye.
But we saw them extend their defense, and Canada were able to make the pass. I mean, if you're double teamed, somebody's got to be open.
And that is the issue when you've got people like Barrett. If you don't get anything off it, and he's in the open floor. But like extending it doesn't mean you're trying to steal it. Doesn't mean you have to double. It just means just try and make them play faster than they want to play.
Well, there's no surprise there. Canada with 10 fast break points.
Oh, yeah.
France with just 4.
And one of the other two times they've had to try and go on. They've charged on 2 occasions in transition. So you've got to say if it's on points, literally in terms of the matchup, etc. Canada have it by 6, but they have also the advantage in the way the game's being played. France are almost going to have to try and beat Canada playing Canada with basketball. That's never a great position to be in. I do sometimes, as we've had this conversation, be it male or female basketball, sometimes you get a little frustrated with French basketball. They've got so much talent, they've got so much depth. So let them off the leash, let them play. And if they can get out and extend their defense here, that could be a huge difference maker. Right now, they're just going to make them work to get it down. If that's enough. If they make them work to get it down.
Well, they drive and they hit. Look who it is. Shepard follows up the miss.
And there is no excuse if you're France allowing that to happen. Shepard just outworks you.
Mokoka. Now Chauffet.
And obviously the other thing that Canada are benefiting from because France aren't attacking them no foul trouble at all. It's only the second team foul in this quarter. And they're in a very, very good place now, Canada. France averaging like nearly 80 points a game, 23 points in nearly half of basketball. And Northwood's checking out. He's done a nice job. Again, he's picking up a little piece. Everyone else is trying to do a little piece.
Coker goes behind his back. So shot clock winding down, and Guda Sinha was going to launch one up there, and then he was fouled by Kigab. Now, I guess he'll get 3. Are they going to get 3 shots, or are they saying he was fouled before he was in the shooting motion?
He fouled him on the fake, so he landed on him, and then he put it on the floor after he fouled him.
Not yet in the bonus. T goes up, misses.
They've only committed 6 fouls in the whole half. They've just got to 4 now in the last minute.
Goes out of bounds. Tough one to pick up there for Wolgarin. Barrett doesn't want to wait around too long. He gets it up, and now a foul called on Mokoka. Barrett makes this shot. Watch this. He will go ahead and carry through with. He went and scored with a reverse after the whistle, and then he just kind of grinned at his teammate. Just kind of flung it up there, and it went in. So he goes to the line. So got some joy out of that. And again, really, Canada are, it's guys like Shepard who've come in and done some little things that are making the difference for this team.
Well, he makes this. It's a double-digit lead in a low-scoring game. 33 to 23. And France are now they're doubting themselves. They're questioning what they're doing, and they're struggling against this Canadian defense just to get any offensive rhythm whatsoever.
Guda Sinha gets in, puts up a little teardrop, and gets it to fall. Well, they needed that. So Canada now try to hold it for 1. Yeah, they got to get the ball to Barrett, surely. Let him create. Oh, bounce pass to Shepard, and Killian T was already there. But he is called for the foul. Look at this. I know, he was reaching in.
The issue for me is that Shepard goes out to the outside the three-point line. Vaultier dives to a passing lane. I mean, what's Shepard going to do out there? He's not out there to catch it and shoot the 3. Gets beat on a back cut. It's great recognition by Barrett. And everyone's frozen looking at Barrett, waiting for him to do stuff. But no one from the help side. This Canadian team's not exactly lighting it up from the three-point line. Just force them to make some shots.
Well, he makes both, but France still have 6.3 seconds. Now, here he has Guda Sinha. And tries to go up, and he is denied right at the end. So, a lot better from Canada in that opening 20 minutes. And they lead it, 35-25 over France in the third quarter final. 10-22, a lot of those around the basket, just 2 of 8, as you said, not really lighting it up from long range.
But they're not taking them, they don't have to because they're being allowed to penetrate so deeply. And it's almost like France don't want to change their defense philosophy. They think they can guard them. The stats tell you something different, but they're staying with it. Down the other end, the zone or the sag on the man-to-man has really broken down France in terms of how you're going to beat us. And at the moment, it's only Chouffé who looks like he can consistently knock down a three. So it's a challenge. If your offense isn't working, change your defense. Try and get something out of your defense. Whatever they do, they've got to try and change the rhythm and the momentum of the game, because at the moment, they're allowing Canada, a short-handed Canada, to dictate pace, and allowing Canada to play a game where they've scored 35 at a reasonable percentage and be 10 up. You know, this French team is not getting anything from its half court, so let's make this game. It's played over the full court, and if we don't get anything in the up the floor, make sure we get back and help and make them make a jump shot. Just make them make it, however you do it, force them to make a jump shot. And if you look after the rebound, try and run. Get bodies down the floor. Try and be what you are, a good athletic transition team. At the moment, France look anything but a good athletic transition team.
Well, it sounds like a broken record, but we've talked about this before. France coming in unbeaten, beat Argentina by 9 points, beat New Zealand by 11, beat Korea by 32, beat Puerto Rico by 28, and here they are, they're trailing. And this is an uncomfortable, unfamiliar position for them. Canada, on the other hand, they've already tasted defeat. They lost to Spain. They've had to grind, and at this point, they look, I don't know if I'd say comfortable. I guess in a way they do look comfortable. They don't look dominant, but they look like they're getting some easy shots, easy baskets.
And they definitely look like they're not worried by what France are doing at the offensive end. You know, yeah, you make a couple. You're not making enough yet. If you start making enough, well, let's see what we've got. But at the moment, yeah, they're comfortable they're comfortable in the way the game's being played. Still not good enough to win, because we said this earlier on about Lithuania. I can't believe France are going to score 25 points in a half again.
Well, it's halftime. It's Canada on top of France, 35 to 25. The winner will face the winner of the other quarterfinal between the USA and Germany in the semifinals. I'm enjoying it more than the last game, that's for sure. Because actually, you're watching Barrett make some plays, you know? He's about to.
Thank you.
Everybody has the same idea of me, like, cool. Exactly. It's massive. Well, France find themselves in a little bit of bother here, trailing 35-25 at halftime against Canada. We've heard, obviously we know the tradition of both of these countries sending players to the NBA and top-level players in Europe. And I think without question, you know, these players are going to be going on to the higher level. But at this stage of the game, really, it's all about Canada and their commitment to putting the ball on the deck and going hard to the basket. And really, France haven't had an answer for it. But 10 points down, maybe, as you said, in a low-scoring game, it spells a little trouble for France. But maybe Coach Coudray is going to shake things up here at the start of the third quarter.
It's one of those things that coming into the game, I can't believe that France would have said, you know, if we do this, this is going to happen. I can't believe in a thought they were going to have as much problem containing the dribble, and I do not believe they would come in and say, oh, they're going to zone us, it's going to kill us. You know, in terms of maybe they came in a little bit complacent, maybe they did that, and that's a really dangerous situation for a team coming into a World Cup quarterfinal. But France, to me, have to make a change to change the tempo of the game and risk at certain points where in the open floor, Canada will get to the hoop. But I think overall, over the 20 minutes that remain, Canada will make more mistakes. They will get into a situation where if they will not get to the basket, if France pack the middle and say, yeah, throw it to someone who's will contest it, but everyone else is off the ball. So get up the floor and press it, then get back and protect the middle. Do something that's going to ask a different question to Canada. They haven't asked a different question at all.
But offensively, France passing the ball around.
Yeah.
Not really interested in getting into any type of full court transition. Obviously, the defense picks up. They might have some opportunities there.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that might spark them and make them sharper, because at the moment they don't look like they can create a basket for each other. But at the same time, they can get to the middle, they can make floaters, whatever they've done, they're just not doing enough of it.
No. Guru Sinha showed a little bit at the end of the first half. He didn't play much. He started, but then went out of the game and came back right at the end. He only played in that first half, though, 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
And that strikes me as coach is looking deep into his bench for an answer, where he doesn't normally look, perhaps. I don't know.
This is where I think the USA probably, their style overall, obviously they've got the horses, they've got the athletes to get out and press, force turnovers, get baskets in transition. But you look at France, I mean, they've got some athletes as well. So yeah, why don't they do it?
Yeah, that's my point.
I mean, it's not like they don't have the ability.
No.
You would think they would thrive in that type. I mean, look at Kylian Thié is a terrific athlete.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They've got the bodies. They've just got to decide to use them differently.
Kigab gets it down low as the third quarter starts, and maybe not as patient as he needed to be there. So good defense for France to start things off. Goodison is going to put up a three. And it's going to hit the back of the iron. And Kigab over to Barrett, and this is where he's dangerous. And he just kind of, what control? I mean, that might be the most impressive part of his game.
Yeah.
He has a lot of impressive parts, but his ability to control control and soft release and all that contact.
He's got over half Canada's points, 19 out of 37.
Guru Sinha, bounce pass, and 3 seconds. 3 seconds is the call.
See, on this replay now, you're only going to get the back end where the call's already been made. But every time France look to attack it, and now they press, they get a turnover.
Yeah, exactly. So that might be what they've done. They've gone to plan B or plan C. Guru Sinha for three, and Jurčić able to get that ball away from Kylian Thié. So Canada up by 12. I mean, they are in a good position right now. And Ndoye putting a little bit of pressure on Mr. Barrett. Barrett, spins, gets around. Oh, that's just He held onto the rim for the offensive putback. He can't do that, RJ. Look at this. It's one of the plays of the game, and it's not going to be allowed. Look at this. He missed the dunk, and then he kind of hung onto the rim.
He's limping pretty badly coming back, though.
It may have turned his ankle.
Yeah.
And Guru Sinha goes in and misses. Now we'll see how Barrett is. He's limping a bit. He's going to try to run it off. Kigab, he goes in with the left hand, and the follow by Bamba. Excuse me, Oguro. And there it is, the follow-up, and that is attacking the basket big time from the captain,
See again,
Chauffé.
Jeff, that last phase almost sums it up. Yeah, Canada got to the basket, but they got to the basket with a tough one. They even got the offensive rebound, but France worked hard enough. They got, as Barrett checks out the game, to see if they can deal with that ankle. And then they forced them to, then they came up and pushed it the other way. They've, 2 or 3 times out of whatever, Canada are going to score them, but they're not going to score enough. If they make the game that way, I think they've got more of a chance to get right back in this. Pressing's a great idea.
It is indeed. Now Henry able to get around, and now he kind of got carried away with himself. Juricic missed. It was a gift that Juricic actually got the ball. Chauffé, feet set, on line, it's good! And now France speeding up the tempo, and you can see that it's playing to their advantage.
Again, Henry was forced to almost go to the basket, a little out of control.
Now Kirkwood, Kigab. Kirkwood from the left corner, good! Well, that was clutch.
Yeah.
He's impressive for a 17-year-old.
Absolutely.
I mean, their 17-year-olds are outstanding. Look at that. Nice follow through. He knew that was in from the time he released it. Back up to 9 points, the advantage. Vautier. Now, Ndoye brings up a 3 himself, and now the game starts to come to life.
There's more tempo to France in that half court than was in the whole game so far.
Prince Oduro spins, gets inside. That was an impressive move from him, the left-hander.
He's a strong guy. He took a lot of contact on the way up. Soft finish. This is what France can't do too much of. They can't have the ball stick and they get into a walk-in scenario.
Well, Ndoye had his feet on the line. He missed it, but Vautier was there. A nice soft release from him.
Ndoye's previous shot, a little quicker in tempo, much more in rhythm. They've just got to stay with it and believe in themselves and running that way.
Well, with that basket from Vautier, it's only a 6-point deficit.
Great news, Barrett's coming back though.
And now Ndoye just takes it right away from Juricic. And Roy Reina just says, calm down, calm down. Ndoye showing us a little bit of offense, and now he comes down and makes a play on defense. So France trailing by 10 points at halftime. But now you feel like this is the moment where maybe they've got to make their move. They've got the momentum. They're down 6. And Killian T is going to inbound the ball. But the bad news for them is that R.J. Barrett is back in the game, as well as Shepard, who's been very effective.
You're absolutely right, though, Jeff. At this point in the game, France should change it, or Canada can re-establish themselves a little.
Killian T gets inside and almost had an and one, and he'll go to the line for 2. I don't remember Killian T going out of the game.
I don't think he has. only played 18. He played all but a minute and a half in the first half, so he's only sat down for a minute.
You know, yeah, go ahead.
The foul count always gives you an indication of where momentum is. And a 3-1 foul count now. But Canada are the team that's in the foul, has picked up fouls because France have been much more aggressive.
Oh, beautiful find by Kigab to Shepard. Shepard just makes the easy plays, the smart plays, time and time again.
And on a team with this much talent, you need someone who's just that solid guy. He'll do those simple things. Good impact. He's had a very good impact.
And he's got a nice presence, physical out there. And Ndoye puts it up. Look at him boxing out Vautier, and Kirkwood comes in for the rebound. Now RJ Barrett. Kigab, he's open. Good for three! And just like that, the lead is back to 10.
Steady the ship, we're okay. That's Canada where they are now.
And that's confidence because he had Kirkwood wide open in the left corner. I was like, you got to make that pass the way he stroked that last three. But Kigab took it and made it. Behind the back pass back to Tilly. Tilly floats in and scores. He's starting to be a little bit more assertive inside. Jordan Henry probing. What must the injured Lindell Wigginton be thinking over on the sidelines? Kirkwood, and this time it stays out. Good rebound from Vautier. Tilly over to Ndoye. And T this time had it knocked out of his hands by Kirkwood. Now Jordan Henry goes out. And in his place is Nate Darling. Good pass from Gudu Senna to midcourt to Ndoye. 7 on the shot clock. Jules Rambeau throws it over in the corner, and Chauffet was out of bounds. You know, Chauffet, Rambeau, and T played for France in the 3x3 under 18 World Championships, I think it was. 2015, they got the bronze.
And you can see how, in that environment, you can see how they can impress.
Absolutely. The ball turns back over to France.
Whatever happens between now and the end of this period, France have established something in this third quarter where they have a way to get back in, and they have a way of making the game become more their type of game.
Chauffet goes baseline, little floater. Kigab knocks it out to Gudu Sinha. Gudu Sinha from the left, and Kirkwood, impressive rebound for him. His momentum was going in the opposite direction. He reached up and grabbed the ball. Here's Barrett, back out to Kigab for three. Good! Well, he's hit his threes tonight, hasn't he?
Oh, same spot. You know, lifted really well on the penetration. Good pass right where he needed it. So Barrett adds an assist, and he had back-to-back threes from that same spot.
A lot of happy Oregon Ducks fans with Kigab coming. And now the foul as T gets inside. You can see how they missed Gudu Sinha in that first half, and it was Shepard who committed the foul. So he goes out now. And Prince Oduro comes back in. So we haven't seen Amadou Bamba here in the second half. T misses the first. You know, his brother has become a regular in the senior team for France. I'm guessing this guy's going to make it himself. He misses both free throws, though, and now that triggers a break. And R.J. Barrett this time got ahead of himself.
I still think that the ankle looks like it's a little sore. You know, he's not got the flow about him at the moment.
Diawara, number 35, to Ndoye. At the line, and good hustle. Barrett spins, no look pass, and a little bit too much French pastry on that from Barrett with the no look, perhaps.
It was one of those parts, it was there, what he did, just threw it out, he just wasn't ready for it, so.
T catches it down low. Oh, tough move, and is fouled by Oduro.
That's a tough finish. This is a very, very tough finish because he's challenged, he's not got a great angle to finish. And he does stuff in his own time too. He looks under a lot of control all the time. You get like the shot around the ring, he's always on balance.
Well, he's been very effective. He's got 15 points now. Back in.
He's well on the way to a double-double, and he's 15 points.
9 rebounds.
Yep.
And makes the free throw. Kigab. And took that one early in the possession. Ndoye, no look. And Diawara was fouled. That's the 6th foul, so now Diawara will go to the free throw line. Well, Canada's still up by 8 points. I feel like the momentum going France's way a little bit, but Diawara misses the free throw.
I still think if, 150 to go in the third, they end up this quarter in credit, closer than 10. They're in good shape going into the fourth France.
Dorian Henry. Juricic finds a little bit of space, puts it up. Excuse me, is that Darling?
Yeah, Darling.
Darling. No, that was Juricic with that. Or at least it was. Yeah, it was Juricic. Killian T and travels. Speaking of Killian T, I mean, it's not just his brother who's a sportsman. His dad, Laurent T, was a former professional volleyball player and the coach of the France national team. And his mother was, Caroline, was also a professional volleyball player from the Netherlands.
With that type, with those genes, you're going to do something,
You're going to have some bounce.
Yeah.
How in the world did he escape the clutches of volleyball to play basketball? Anyway, we're glad to have him. So Canada maintain possession. Oduro. Henry turns it over. And Rambo misses, and it goes off of Juricic. And Beltier was putting the pressure on him.
You put Canada in the same situation as we've just seen. They're not pulling back. They're going to attack the hoop. And France had numbers, and they still pulled it out. Just back yourself. If you're France now, back yourself.
Rambo makes it from the line. Eight points. The deficit. Henry drifts in. And it goes to Prince Oduro, and he goes up strong and draws the foul. Here it is. Not too bad defense from Vautier. Barrett with 19 points, Kigab with 10 rebounds. Prince Oduro, I don't know about his struggles at the line, but he makes that one, brings a little bit of rain with it.
I was going to say, he puts it up there.
Chauffet and Guru Sinha are going to come in for France. They're waiting to check in. And Kigab almost got that one back for Canada. Several seconds ticking off the clock here in the third quarter. It's a 9-point lead for Canada, and Jules Rambo is off target. With 10 minutes remaining. Still a long way to go. Canada in front.
They're in credit. They're in credit. They won that by a point, set up nicely for the fourth. I think they're just going to live with that pressure. Just pressure and pressure and pressure. Just try and give themselves the best chance they can by making it a full-court game.
Well, here's some of the highlights of the third quarter, and we saw some more of Mr. Barrett. We also saw France come to life, and they were looking pretty good there. This was the miss from Barrett, and then when he fell, he kind of injured his ankle. And we still don't know if he's 100% back.
For me, I don't think he's... There was a couple of times where before he seemed to roll the ankle, he'd have taken it, whereas he was a little hesitant, pulled out, made the one assist to the three. So at the end of the day, he's a sort of young kid. It's not going to hurt him in the fourth quarter. You know, unless it's bad, and he didn't look that bad. That'll teach him to be hanging on the ring, because that's when he came down and rolled.
Yeah. So Nate Darling still in the game, number 8, Barrett, Kigab, Prince Oduro, and Juricic. Plenty of more twists in the tail, I think, in this one. Makoka back in for France, number 6. 2-3 zone for Canada. They find Killian T in a weak spot, and he misses a short jumper. Well, just inside the free throw line.
Canada now going with Barrett at the point.
It's, oh, look at Prince Oduro turn. He missed. Sorry, what was your point again?
Well, Barrett at the point. That's you trying to guard him if he's healthy. That's gonna really challenge you.
Well, Diawara came up with that ball. It looked like Kigab was going to go the other way with it. Look at Barrett if he's going to try to push it quickly. They get it to Juricic, it's wide open, left corner, off the back of the rim. Indoy drives in. Boy, they got some good extension on that.
And it's plays like that frustrate you so much with France, because they don't have anything as an initial in the break. They're still in the secondary. Who's going to stop that? That's what Canada were doing to France early in the game. Just attack the space before the defense is set. And you said it earlier on. France have got so many guys who can do that. So many guys who can be aggressive in that situation and attack the ring. Now, you got to make your throws, but That's a really good sign for this French team at the start of the fourth.
But it's similar, isn't it, to Lithuania earlier today? I mean, they had the athletes. They get the fouls, they go to the line and miss the free throws. Now Kigab. Boy, he's explosive, isn't he? Look at that, he goes all the way! And that is going to get Kudre off the bench. 11 points the lead for Canada. And look at Barrett, he almost comes up with a steal. Killian T. Flirting with another turnover. Diawara for three. And Vautier goes up for a very important rebound and put back for France.
Oh, they really needed that. They did nothing offensively. They just passed it backwards and forwards and settled for the three and get bailed out by the great job on the offensive boards.
Juricic pulls up and got it blocked by Mokoka. Now Indoy, open floor. And he kind of outran his dribble, so he gets it to Mokoka. And France missing some open J's. Kigab controls it just enough to get it to Prince Oduro. Prince Oduro follows his own shot. And that means some more rainbow free throws coming from Big Prince.
And apart from that period around in the third quarter, this scenario where France are being outworked by someone like Prince there, he gets down the floor, gets a rebound, puts it back up, gets it again. And he's going up, and they're just outworking. And this is one of those frustrations. France can attack it, they don't. Canada can, they do.
Chauffet's back in for France. Maybe they'll turn to him and his three-point shot. You know, a couple of his go in, and maybe it can start changing things around.
You can see how Prince Oduro struggles with his free throw percentage. It's a little bit. There's a lot of air for that to go wrong.
Yes. Would have made 1 or 2.
Still a double-digit lead here with 7, and France are in this half-court mode again.
There you go. Chauffet's got to take some shots, and he is fouled by Kirkwood shooting the 3. I think if he's really aggressive, he's the captain. You need him out there doing something. Chauffet will take 3 free throws after this timeout.
Yeah, you'd love to see him come back after this, make the throws, and then press. Yeah, get off the side, or trap, something that asks a question of Canada coming out of the timeout. Because if you've made the 3, you get a turnover, you half the lead. You know, you can half it.
Look at that, second chance points, 15 for France, 5 for Canada, which
tells you how poorly France is shooting their first shot.
Yeah.
And the other thing about that, you know,
and look at Canada with the 21 fast break points. That's no surprise.
Against 10, is that 10?
Yeah.
Well, and there's the game. You know, that's really fundamentally where the game is being decided. How much Canada want to push, and how difficult France are finding it to stop it.
It's kind of hard to pick an MVP for this game for Canada, because as good as Barrett has been, Kigab has been sensational as well. 12 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. Are you kidding me? I mean, this guy can play.
Yeah.
He really can. Of course, he's got a couple of years on RJ. And Canada doing this without their captain, Wigginton, who's on the bench.
And you get the impression it's almost like he's not here, so everyone's got to step up, and everybody's tried to do a piece. It's a long, long time to go against a talented team like France. And you know, French momentum needs to start right now.
What's interesting to me is when you look down those stats and you see Shepard, 8 points, they're plus 14 when he's on the court, and he's played 10 minutes. Those are the guys that are stepping up, like you say.
They're the people.
So Chauffet makes the first 2. And must makes, really.
I'm surprised if they're going to press that Vautier's in the game still. They left the big in there. They may have thrown something different. But at least they're up the floor.
gets it back to a 7-point deficit now for France. Pass back to Henry. And RJ gets a little bit of space, and this time, look at Prince Oduro, who was in there. Just kind of lost control of it when he came down. And then Kigab got it because nobody hit the rim.
So France have scored, they've got a turnover, they can get to 5 or 4.
No, Roy Rand is going to call timeout immediately. He didn't like what he saw there, did he?
No. And obviously he's got the timeouts to use. And he's been right on it this whole game, from prep all the way through to this. He stepped in once already where it didn't look good for a one possession straight away. Had it. The 2 turnovers like in the first period, and everything that Canada have done in this game has been right on it. You know, but in saying that, they beat the press. They get Barrett going to the basket. They get an offensive rebound. It just takes them a little too long. But France have got to stay with that. You know, it's got to stay with that defensive effort. Otherwise, I just think Canada will score too many points. They have a 7-point lead. They score another like 8 points. Are France really going to come out and hit 20? It's a tough ask.
But that said, 7 points isn't a big lead.
No.
All you need is Chauffé to come down and hit a couple of threes, and you're right there.
And they've got to stop. So they scored the 3 from the line. They've got to stop. They come down here and be aggressive, and then they press again, and they're in a really good place. Momentum just changes straight away. But Canada asked by going up the floor themselves. That's a nice move.
No look pass, Chauffé for 3. Well, only ran. Look at T. Sky for the rebound. Now Chauffé again. That's going to be off as well. And he is fouled shooting the 3.
That's 2 huge fouls by Canada. Norfolk on the first one, and then Jordan Henry on that one. Chauffé's missed shots, and he's going to end up with another 3, and you're going to end up with a 4-point game if he makes all 3. Okay.
But we just saw him miss a couple of 3s, and now he's missed a free throw. And now he's going to be upset with himself. He's trying to put a brave face on. Keep it positive. But you just missed 2 of the potential 3 free throws. And it's uncharacteristic as well because he's a good shooter. Well, they're only down by 6 now. And Jules Rambeau comes in for Vautier, and Shepard comes back in for Prince Oduro, who brought a lot of good energy while he was in there. And Chauffé is guarding Jordan Henry. Now 7 on the shot clock, and Barrett's going to have to go to work. Tough shot for Canada, and now they have fouled Barrett, shooting a long jump shot at the end of the shot clock. That is not a good foul.
We were talking that they've made the 3 free throws, they get a stop France, then they missed the 2 from 3 on the line, and then they fouled the 3. Canada haven't had to do anything to maintain this lead. It's going to go back out to potentially a 9-point lead, and they haven't done anything to...
Oh, they awarded him 3 free throws on that one. Okay. See who it is.
So,
yeah, you're right, it was.
By doing nothing, they've ended up back up 9, and France have lost that energy, and the energy just goes from the whole bench and everything. They're desperately trying to generate energy again, generate the team being positive.
Well, they make 2 of 3. 8-point game. Rambeau and fouled by Kigab, but T is there for the follow, the rebound and putback. We're back to a 6-point game. that's a little bit of a flop. And I think Roy Rana was having a go at him. Oh, look at Barrett just go baseline, go with a reverse layup. Well, that's a mistake.
No one thought that they might need to help in that situation.
Makoka for three, it's online. Oh, cruel. No love from the rim gods. Barrett hands it off to Henry. Five minutes and 20 seconds now, and Kigab has it taken away. Good job by Makoka. And Makoka gets inside but misses the layup. Kigab is just going to go right at Chauffé, and they're going to count it. And was he, where was his position? Let's take a look.
I don't think he was coming. You see him coming across as he just comes into the shot late. Again, sums up the difference. You know, there was nothing else in his mind apart from I'm gonna go.
Yeah, exactly.
And guard me, and you're not there, so I'm gonna score. If you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna score.
He is a good player.
Yeah.
Kigab. Very.
Well, Oregon.
He might be putting himself on the all tournament team if they win this game, because he is looking pretty darn good.
With Oregon losing a number of seniors like last year, he can come and add straight away.
Absolutely. It's Dana Altman, I think, isn't it? Coach. So we'll be excited watching this. And Kigab goes up and makes.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of people just watching this and smiling. And they're just going to be enjoying it. As the game goes on, it more and more. Canada now are in a situation, 11 up. You know, they've got this game where they need it to be. If they can control it now, it's going to be a very tough ask for France. France have to force the issue defensively.
You know, if you want to check out what's happening in this competition, just go to U19worldcup.basketball, and you can find out all the facts and figures, teams, whatever. Also, there's a live blog there from here on the ground that you can follow. Guru Sinha for three! For an 8-point deficit. He's been champing at the bit over there on the sidelines, waiting to get back in, and he comes in and makes the shot immediately. Kigab. And now Chauffé runs for France. Now, Guru Sinha just nailed one. Needs to look for that shot. They're down 4. Chauffé, his shot has kind of gone AWOL here in the fourth quarter. Alley-oop pass! Oh, what a dunk! And Shepard fittingly goes up and rocks the rim with 2 hands. He has been absolutely terrific. Well spotted by Jordan Henry.
Oh, it's a 3-on-1 break. They just committed to it.
And look at Killian T answer with a dunk, but they can't trade baskets. They got to get some stops and some points.
You can't have a 3-on-1. You've got to get back if you're France now.
And Barrett gets it to Shepard, and then Tilly just takes it right away. Indoor is going to pull up for 3 and gets no love from the rim. Guru Sinha couldn't quite catch it before it went out of bounds.
So Canada have a chance to break. Guys bust to get down and get beyond the defense. France have a 3-on-2, pull up, shoot the 3 with no real effort to get up. Those 2 plays just summed up where these teams are. Canada's effort down the floor to run off a Shepard, phenomenal.
And look at this, Barrett, just a little bit of razzle-dazzle. I mean, all of his plays just look so spectacular. Reminds me of the old Stacey Augmon. Really tough going to the basket. And Killian T misses.
Will travel.
Boy.
That's no love from the official at all.
And
I'm not sure if he really has control of that to travel.
I don't think so. And Hervé Caudre as well, letting him know what he felt about that. But those calls are more painful late in the game when you're down 10, that's for sure. Oh, Ndoye takes away, and an unsportsmanlike foul called on Barrett because he grabbed the jersey, and he's got to know better than that. So this is a potential 4 or 5 point trip down the floor for France, although I think Ndoye's struggled a bit with his free throw shooting tonight.
The turnover's bad enough. You don't like the turnover. You just have to suck it up because you're only going to commit the unsportsmanlike in that scenario.
But Ndoye, I mean, yeah, it's a bad foul, but maybe Canada aren't going to be punished as much as they could with Ndoye, who's 1 of 4 at the stripe.
And France are continuing a trend from teams that are losing games here today, unable to make free throws.
Yeah, absolutely. They're 8 of 18. I mean, we harped on that about Lithuania. I mean, it was a real horror show. In France, if they're trailing by 10 and they've missed 10 free throws.
And again, it's one of those scenarios, isn't it? Okay, say you just make 60 or 70%. You're down 3 or 4 and you're in the game.
Yeah.
You're down 10 and you're like, damn, we've got to do stuff. Whereas you're just playing, it's close. You're a 1 possession game. And it's the easiest skill. It should be one, but over the years, teams will struggle to get beyond 60-odd%, and they lose games every single year. Guys just need to get in the gym and repeat a process, and that's all it is. Hard because pressure's something special, but pressure should make you go like 3 from 4, not 1 from 4.
Ndoye, and this is painful viewing for French basketball fans. Painful. And it's just difficult to explain. You know, Chauffet missed 2 of 3. Ndoye's missed a couple more.
Well, Chauffet, was it 2 or 3 after making 3 from 3 the possession before? And Canada will stay in their zone, and that's why would they change? France, from minute 1 to minute 40, haven't found a way to work it out.
Gudosina gets a little bit of space. He puts it up, and the ball goes out of bounds. So it goes back to Canada, who look more and more like they've got 1 foot in the semifinals. Could end up having an All-American semifinal against their rivals, the United States, if USA can beat Germany. Canada still have a little bit of work to do here.
That's going to help with a team foul situation.
But again, France, the unsportsmanlike foul. We're talking about how Barrett has made a bad play, and yet France completely let him off the hook. They don't even score a single point. Missed the unsportsmanlike. Now here's Gudosina. And Gudosina today at the free throw line it's his first trip. And he does get it to fall. So back to single digits.
Now 67% over the tournament so far, you know, making 2 from 3 on average. He needs both. He needs this one to get it down to an 8-point game. Still plenty of time if they can just complete, and then they go 1 from 2. And that man Shepard gets another positive stat.
Yeah, he's impressive. Look at Barrett. And this time, going hard. I think that's a good no call by the ref.
Yeah, definitely.
And what is Barrett doing there early in the shot clock, giving it right back over? Well, I guess if he's going to play like that, he's going to play like that. You can't.
Yeah, there comes a point though where it's like there wasn't
Know the
really
situation.
yeah, just do the same thing, but do it 10 seconds later. France just don't have an answer.
No. That was pure luck there. The ball ended up with Kylian T, and now it's a 7-point deficit. They need to get something from their defense.
Stop now makes life interesting.
Oh, Kylian T with the flush, two-handed, the steal, and it's back to a 5-point game. And very wisely, Roy Rana calls timeout.
Yeah,
look at Tilly.
He's got this one and one more. Takes it, advances the ball. He doesn't have that backcourt issue. Keep it and just penetrate late in the shot clock.
You know, he is, Kylian T is a phenomenal player. I mean, he is putting up some staggering numbers tonight, and he's doing it, making it look easy doing it. 22 points, 14 rebounds. He has turned the ball over 6 times, but he's also played a lot of minutes.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys that sometimes he doesn't get missed because his numbers tell you he's done a good job, but he's not doing like he's not a highlight guy.
No.
Yeah, he'll dunk it on the break and stuff like that. He doesn't need that. He's happy just accumulating.
Those numbers there, you know, they're almost identical in terms of the makes.
Yeah.
And the big difference is the free throws. France, 9 of 22 at the free throw line. Canada, 14 of 22. So they've made 5 more free throws. And guess what? That is the difference in the game. 5. But France almost looked dead and buried a couple minutes ago, or 25 seconds ago. Now they're down by 5.
They get a stop now. This game is like a 1-possession game. If they score and both teams 1 timeout, it's right there for France. They'd be getting out of jail if they could win this one.
Oh, Kirkland catches it down low, and they are not going to give that one away.
But what does Shepard do? He sets a screen.
Yep.
Yeah, he sets a screen for Barrett to come high, and he just rolls. He does what you're supposed to do as a basketball player in a big. Pick, split for someone, open to the ball. That's nothing. It's nothing special. He's had one of those games where Shepard's done everything simple and has done it very well.
And to be fair, that was not really that bad a defense by France.
No, I know.
Going up the challenge, but he's being aggressive and he's being rewarded with it by getting to the line. And he rattles in the first one, and he makes the second. And again, solid, making simple plays, making free throws. Great player in the making. Player they can have in this program for a while, it looks like. Ndoye. Guru Sinha. Ndoye had his foot on the line, and Shepard with the rebound. Now Barrett. And Ndoye steps in front of him and commits the foul.
So France have had joy when they've been aggressive. So in the last couple of minutes, they've just passed it a couple of times. They haven't really shifted the defense and thrown up a 3. If there's ever a team against this zone, they have just lived and died by the jump shot far too much. And Canada can just stand in this zone because France have allowed them to. And you've got to give so much credit to the way Canada has decided to do it. And we said right at the beginning of the game, can they be disciplined? Absolutely. They've just been tremendous team performance. It looks, at this point, it looks like another unbeaten team coming into the quarterfinals may drop.
That's right. You definitely don't want to be unbeaten coming into the quarterfinals.
Unless you're Spain.
Well, it's true. Maybe the USA as well. They'll be heavy favorites against Germany next. Kylian T, nice penetration, drives.
And there you go again, penetration, good things for France. Still there for them.
I'll tell you, what you like about Canada is you've got Barrett, you've got Kigab, you've got 2 players who are supremely confident in their ability to just create plays on their own, and that is a luxury. I mean, these guys do not shy away from going to the basket, from shooting the 3. Kigab is Just continues to put up terrific numbers now. 16 points, 15 rebounds, and he's got the 6 assists. Ooh. And T gets back, so now the foul. Chauffé for 3. I think that hit the outside of the net. It was online, just didn't have enough on it.
I mean, there are plenty of people who will say, you know, it's easy. When you've got 1 or 2 good players and you're not that deep, so you know your rotation's pretty fixed. It's only easy if those guys deliver.
You know, it's interesting though. I mean, that was a very tricky point there. Canada up 5, they called the timeout, and Shepard went to the basket, drew the foul, and made both free throws. That really was a moment where you just felt like Canada regained a little bit of control, a little bit of confidence.
And you've said it a number of times. France have struggled at the free throw line. They've struggled at the most important moments as well. The 3 free throws, the intentional, and they're just not come up with the answers.
Well, Kirkwood misses a couple, and now Guru Sinha makes a couple as well. And it's back to a 5-point game. So it's not impossible.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
You know, Kirkwood, if he had made one of those. Wait a minute, I've got the score wrong, don't I? It's an 8-point game? No, it's a 5-point game. They're just slow to register the points.
Yeah, the 3 hasn't gone up on the scoreboard in the arena.
For whatever reason. There it is, now it's up there. So, Canada with 14.5 seconds left, they're going to advance the ball, right? And France, presumably, they'll try to go for the steal and then the quick foul.
Yeah, you steal a foul here, absolutely. On the first pass, you don't let it come in any way, shape or form.
So Italy and Spain in one semifinal. Are Canada going to close out France here at the end? A lot can happen in 14.5 seconds. We just saw Canada miss a couple of free throws. Don't go away, folks. Canada at the line now, 19 of 30, 63.33%. Although Duro's had the majority of those misses, and he's not in the game. He was 2 of 6. Kirkwood also now 1 of 4, strangely, because he's a good shooter. He's going to inbound the ball. And they get it to you-know-who, Kigab. And
see, even that, they allow 3 seconds to tick off the clock.
Yeah, too much.
And very easy catch, you know, it wasn't like the catch was hard.
He makes both of these, it looks like mission impossible for France. He makes the first. Hervé Coudray is looking on. And he misses the second, so there's a chance. Need to get a 3 up quickly. And they do. Chauffé puts it up and rims out. And Canada are going to hold on, and they are going to win. And it's disappointment for France. Their aim to get to the podium has been extinguished, and Canada, really one of the great moments for them, I think, in that Canada basketball program, they've reached the semifinals with a 6-point win. And ultimately, France will look back at those free throw misses as
40%, Jeff?
It's crucial.
It's very easy. From where we're sitting, it's very easy. You can sit here and talk about it. And, yeah, they miss free throws. This is the World Cup. You've got no hope of progression with 40% from the free throw line. And you're struggling to make shots. You're given the same question for that game, and you can't come up with the answer. That's an impressive Canadian win, and that loss will hurt France. Because when they sit down and say, how did we lose? It's not going to be, oh, they did this great or that great. They took it to the basket really well. What else did they do? They stood in the zone and watched us miss shots. And you've got to credit it. Whatever works, works. That's a very, very good performance by Canada. Without their best guard, everybody chipped in, and whatever Coach Rana said to those guys, he really got a great response. Great response.
We know they went to halftime, they were up by 10 points. It got a little bit tricky there in the third quarter. France came back, almost came all the way back, and then Canada just shifted into a higher gear with Kigab and Barrett. And France missed a lot of jump